This is Small Bikes, Big Hearts, in association with St Luke's Hospice, Plymouth.
Good evening.
Good evening, Ben.
Good evening,
Oh,
Sean.
sorry, I thought you were talking to me. It's been another kind of slightly tiring day. Why is that?
It's hard for me to fathom why. I think it's just a combination of everything.
Yeah.
And that's why it's tiring.
Yeah. Well, first 30 miles was really full on again, wasn't it? It was awesome.
Awesome.
Really, really good riding. Wales has smashed it out of the park.
Absolutely.
So far.
Those roads, we keep repeating ourselves, but they're just fantastic. I remember at one point sweeping around this beautiful bend, and I caught a glimpse of the valley down the road. And I said, "Look at this valley, Sean." And what did you say?
I said, I'm not looking at the valley. I've got a sharp left-hander bearing up on me.
It was that sort of beautiful flowing technical roads where you could just get into the flow of things. Of course, the scenery is surrounding you, but these little bikes again are just giving back 100-fold, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there is a certain there is a certain sadness that not every ounce of scenery is being soaked up, but primarily this is a ride.
It is a ride.
And I'm enjoying the ride.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of opportunities where we're doing 30 and 20 to sort of have a look around and see what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, no, well done, Wales. Look at you go.
Oh, a little highlight was finding Newtown and Jack's Cafe.
Oh, yeah.
That was a highlight.
Well, you always like a bacon sandwich.
We always like a bacon sandwich. I like a bacon sandwich. I was going in for a coffee. Just.
Yeah, no, I like a bacon and egg sandwich.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
But yeah, no, he was a friendly fellow, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah. But I guess that, we decided no breakfast, and but then it just started spotting with rain, didn't it?
Yeah.
And we thought we'd do the sensible thing and put the wet gear on. And it just happened to be a cafe nearby, so...
Right there.
Yeah,
fantastic.
that was all good. We did a little bit of 3D audio recording today as well. So, in fact... Just quickly, we haven't shared any of these yet, and it's probably something that I'm going to be doing as an ongoing project after the end of this ride.
Will you have any time to do any proper work?
Well, after?
After
when
this.
do I ever do any proper work? Come on, be honest.
Yeah, okay.
I gave
I don't know why I said
proper
that.
work back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are microphones. And they're also headphones, but they kind of act as earplugs. So you put them in your ears, and then they record the way that a human hears sound, right? Because I've got a right ear, sounds bouncing off of that wall, and I'm hearing a delayed sound coming off of that wall. That's what gives us a sense of space. And so these record in that way. That means when you listen to this recording with headphones on, you listen to the world the way I'm hearing it, which is a much more immersive 3D. It's called binaural. It's not a new thing. Binaural recording. Not to be confused with binaural beats, which are kind of a more new agey type phenomenon. But yeah, binaural recording. So we will be sharing binaural recordings. Ben's got a set, I've got a set, so it's really kind of like a podcast in the crash helmet.
So the route today was out of this town where we stayed last night, Llandrindod, Wales, and into Shropshire. And how beautiful was Shropshire?
Well, yeah, I was reminded just how beautiful Shropshire was, because in fact I used to live here. I mentioned it yesterday.
Yeah.
We lived in Gabone, which is just outside Oswald Street. Shropshire's stunning. there was an interesting geological phenomena
was.
that we both spotted independently of each other. And I said to you, that looks like a volcano. So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking that.
Just thinking that. To a right, it's a sort of like hill that if you ask the primary school child to draw a hill, they would draw the hill in that sort of way, and it looks like a volcano.
But with a flat top.
And it's like, how did that get there? I
Well,
mean,
if it was a volcano, I would suggest that it was a burst of...
but it wasn't a volcano.
Well, but how do we know? This is what I'm questioning.
Because we do know this. Well, correct us if we're wrong, all you geologists out there, and I know there's loads of you out there. England doesn't have volcanoes anymore. They're so worn down. That's why.
So you're saying there is not a single... no, bearing in mind that I'm hoping people will fact check us on this, because I'm genuinely interested.
Yeah.
Right? There are no
There's igneous.
extinct volcanoes in the UK that are still visible above the ground.
Not like that. There are igneous extrusions.
Oh.
Dartmoor, for example,
Right.
is the remains of volcanic
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
England is so old, the hills and the mountains are so old, that's why they're down and worn. They're not like the Himalayas, because they're very young mountains. And that's why they are as high as they are and what they are.
Okay.
So this thing, who am I? I'm not a geologist.
You're definitely not a geologist.
No, I'm definitely not I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a geologist. No.
Well, I'm intrigued, because
Yeah.
we both thought, that looks like a volcano.
It does look like a volcano.
Yeah. Now, hello. Very popular on social media, by the way. If you want to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, we are Small Bikes, Big Hearts. And actually, the TikTok is starting to build really well. 2 old geezers on TikTok. Who'd have thought it?
Anyway.
It's starting to grow. Okay, so yeah, Shropshire is a beautiful place indeed. And I decided to... I didn't realise quite how close we were going to be going.
Very close as it turned out. Yeah.
So I thought it'd be a nice idea to just kind of reconnect with that time of my life. Obviously, with Colin not being here now, it was an opportunity to just to remember, really. So drove around the outskirts of Oswald Street. And into Gabo, in the village where we lived. And it's so bizarre. We lived there for probably nearly 2 years. And I never really cottoned on that there was a railway track and a railway station right at the end of our road. And yet we must have driven over that railway track a number of times. Well, pretty much daily, I would have said. One of the things that I noticed straight away is how small everything felt. I mean, that road outside the house that we used to live in, I mean, it was little more than a country.
Well, it's just a 2-lane road, but it was the A5 apparently.
Yeah, that was the main A5.
Yeah,
cut through
at some point, but not now. It's just a little cut through.
And so we saw Malcolm today.
Yes, your old neighbour.
Our old neighbour, who was quite a character back in 1980 when I lived there, and obviously probably in his mid-30s, maybe a bit later. And they used to run a garage and a grill bar, and they were the first venue in the area to have a Space Invaders machine. So me and Colin used to go and beg for 10p to go and play on the Space Invaders machine.
We're talking history now.
We are talking history.
Ancient history.
Ancient history, 1980. Yeah, but it was good to see Malcolm, and it was good to reconnect with that little bit of my past, and zoomed out to my old secondary school, St Martin's.
Yeah.
And again, it just seems so small.
Did you notice a couple of schoolboys came out to the gate and started pointing at our bikes? You probably didn't, because you were
didn't.
turning
I was
around.
too busy doing a U-turn.
You were busy turning a U-turn, but these 2 lads came to the gate and went, "Ooh, what are those?"
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't see that.
I didn't say so at the time because you were too busy.
I tried not to get squashed by a lorry.
Yeah.
I was wanting to be a lorry driver, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Cadwalladers in St Martin's, where we went today, used to drive past the school all the time, and we used to do the whole air horn thing all the time, you know. And I was saying to you earlier, like, because that lorry turned around.
Turned around.
And I wanted to do it. And at 11 or 12, like,
Yeah.
I had no hesitation in doing that. But at 58, I felt like a bit of a fool.
And particularly to this particular lorry, because he was reversing, wasn't he? He was a massive big thing, pulled up, put his reversing lights on. I thought, I'm keeping clear of this.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to get him to...
Yeah, you're trying to get... Yeah, good luck.
But you said, no, seriously though, you said something to me that resonated a little bit, is why would you not rekindle or get back in touch with your childhood? And that's true, we forget that side of ourselves. That, You know, and I did think, well, I'm going to do it before this trip's out.
Yeah,
I'm going to stand by the road. I'm going to go like that.
It is a thing in train spotting, you know. There is a thing. There's a train spotter called Francois Bourgeois.
I thought you meant the film train spotter.
No. Actual train spotter.
Right.
He stands by the railway line.
I know who you mean.
You know Francis.
Yeah.
And the train drivers give him the old toot.
Yeah.
So you're not alone.
Yeah.
You too can be a child.
Bit of a change from the old toots.
So that was that.
So that was that. Yeah, and then we got the last bit back here was a bit of a commute again, really, wasn't it? Into
Chester. Yeah, and Chester's interesting as a city, beautiful city. But I'd like to come back and see it again. But this time, perhaps I'd like to go by train or somebody else drive me, because the one-way system was something to behold.
Yeah, well, we had to sit and wait for the bollards.
We had to wait for the bollards.
Because it's pedestrianised up until 4:30. Isn't it?
At some point, I thought, if that's a one-way system, I don't care. If it's free, I'm going down the long way, up to get to the hotel.
Well, you nearly got a bollocking, didn't you?
Yeah. So we were going.
I think one of the most stressful points of these trips, and this used to happen when we were cycling as well, it's the departure and the arrival.
Yeah.
That half an hour as you're leaving and the half an hour when you arrive at the new place is the worst part of the day. I don't know what it is, but the stress levels really spike. Well, obviously you're trying to find somewhere. And today I was just really worried about security.
And the solution was?
Well, I didn't want to leave the bikes in a public car park. I just a really bad feeling. And then we pulled up outside the hotel, and directly opposite is a Lloyd's Bank, and they had a private car park. And I just thought it would be great if we could park in there. And then as we were collecting our bags, the bank manager was pulling out, and she very kindly, Joanne, thank you, from Lloyd's Bank in Chester, she very kindly said that we could leave our bikes in Lloyd's Bank car
they're behind lock gates.
They are behind
safely,
lock gates, safe and sound.
all locked up.
Yeah, so that's a relief.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We had a key situation, didn't we, happily?
We have in key situations all the time. And I was saying to Colin's wife, Sharon, this evening.
Yeah.
Like, you know what it's like, Sharon. You've been on loads of tours with Colin. She was like, well, haven't you got a lanyard? And I was like, do you know what? I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't got a lanyard. And she's dead right. You have a lanyard. I need to get a lanyard because we got into the hotel and you said to me, where's your keys? I was like, well, there.
Oh,
there. And not only had I lost my bike key, but I'd lost the key to all my padlocks. So that's the third lock issue we've had.
That's got me going then. I thought, well, okay, where's my motorcycle key? And it must be here. I thought, oh no, don't.
My head did the spiral of anxiety.
Yeah.
So I'm now going through all of the work. I know what I've done. I've dropped them on the floor outside.
Dropped them in the gap between the lift, in the lift shaft. I was thinking that.
Seen them and got them. They're already on their way to get an angle grinder.
Yeah.
This
This
is in my head. Catastrophising.
Yeah. Oh, well, I wasn't far behind. Yeah. I did look at that gap in the lift as the doors opened. I thought you could get keys down there.
Yeah.
So
that was stressful.
That was stressful.
Where were they, Ben? Where were my keys?
Well, they're on the bed.
They were on the bed.
They're on the bed.
Yeah.
Just move the bag. They're on the bed. But here's the thing: they're on the bed all this time that he was, that you were there searching for it, and there is some science. Here comes the science bit. We've said this before, but the psychology of expectation. And in road traffic conditions, there's something called look but fail to see, because your brain is not expecting to see something, you don't see it.
Yeah.
So if you don't expect to see the keys, or you expect to see the keys in a certain position, even when they're there in front of you, quite often you don't actually register that that's what you are actually looking at. It's a well-known phenomenon.
Well, there's a really interesting video.
It's a famous experiment.
It is, but I'm going to post the link.
Yeah.
So people can try it.
Try it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
'cause
Post that link.
That absolutely blew my mind
Yeah.
the first time I saw it.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's
and
about.
that is why men can never find their keys.
No. Because we're foolish and we don't expect to find anything, really.
Well, yeah, it was always under something.
Yeah.
Yeah, or on the bed.
So all was calm.
Yeah, I'm going to get a lanyard. Tomorrow is the interesting one because there's big urban conurbations to deal with, like mainly Liverpool. St Helens is pretty big as well. And the route finding scenario hasn't got any better at this point, in as much as we're having more success hand picking a route, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I think we're slightly different. You're thinking you want to go
I'm
under
thinking
the tunnel
Wirral Tunnel to the west of Liverpool and then straight into the countryside,
through Ormskirk,
and up towards Preston that way.
which is very beautiful actually. I used to work for McCann's. Their head office is in Ormskirk. Very beautiful. I'm intrigued and going to have a look at the round the right hand side, sort of swinging in more towards Manchester, not into Manchester, but there is a road that cuts up through Warrington. Yeah,
I'm not
now
so
I can see
keen.
your face. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have posted something on the Chester and North Wales motorcycle group. We'll check that. We'll go with your route.
We'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll go with your route.
Yeah.
I do apologise. That is kind of a signal that
That's
it's probably time to wrap this up, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow with an update when we will be well and truly north. And we've got a couple of days in Morecambe to chill out, which is nice. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
All right, lovely.
Right.
Well, hasta mañana. Oh no, it doesn't matter. That's what Engine Suite is for. Just say a few words to me, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Buckle my shoe. Shut the door. 1, 2, 3, 4. Buckle my shoe. Shut the door.
Interesting. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Buckle my shoe.
It'll do. It'll do. Yeah, it'll do.